Have you ever replayed a conversation so many times that you started changing what you said in your head, as if somehow you could go back and fix it, as if one awkward moment was enough to change how people saw you? Maybe it happened on your way home, or while trying to fall asleep. Suddenly your brain starts replaying every word. Did I sound stupid? Did I talk too much? Did they think I was weird? Should I have said that differently? And before you know it, you're arguing with people who aren't even in the room anymore. Most people think this is insecurity, but it's not. It's something much older than that. The average person spends years being controlled by people they don't even like. One comment ruins their day. One criticism follows them for weeks. One person's opinion becomes more important than their own. And the strange part is that most of these people wouldn't even trade lives with the person judging them. Yet somehow, their opinion still matters. Think about the last time someone criticized you. Not a stranger, someone whose opinion mattered. Chances are you've spent more time thinking about that criticism than they spent giving it. And that's what makes this so exhausting. Most of the battles you're fighting are happening entirely inside your own head. Why? Because your brain wasn't designed for the world you live in today. Thousands of years ago, being rejected wasn't embarrassing. It was dangerous. Human beings survived because they belonged to tribes. You depended on other people for food, for protection, for survival. If your tribe rejected you, you didn't just lose friends, you lost safety. You lost resources. Sometimes you lost your future. So your brain adapted. It learned a simple rule: rejection equals danger. And even though the world changed, your brain never got the update. That's why a random comment can stay in your head all day. That's why being ignored can feel surprisingly painful. That's why one moment of embarrassment can feel bigger than it really is. Your brain isn't reacting to a comment. It's reacting to a threat that no longer exists. And once you understand this, something important happens. You stop asking, how do I stop caring what people think? Because that's the wrong question. The real question is, whose opinions deserve your attention? Because most people spend their lives trying to be accepted by people they wouldn't trade lives with. Think about that for a second. There are people whose opinions can ruin your entire day, even though you wouldn't want their life, their habits, their relationships, their mindset, their future. Yet somehow you've handed them a microphone in your mind. You see, the goal was never to stop caring. Anyone who tells you they don't care what people think is probably lying. The difference is that some people are selective. They choose whose opinions matter. Most people don't. Most people hand out influence to anyone with a voice. A stranger online, a coworker they don't respect, someone who criticizes everything, someone whose advice they would never take. And yet those are often the people with the strongest influence over how they feel. Think about how strange that is. Why would you let someone shape your self-worth when you wouldn't want their life? One of the greatest advantages of modern life is that you can choose your tribe. You can choose who gets a seat at your table, and the right people can change everything. Around the wrong people, you start editing yourself. You think before every sentence. You hide parts of your personality. You become a smaller version of yourself. Not because you're broken, because some environments punish authenticity, but around the right people, something different happens. You become more honest, more confident, more yourself. Not because you changed, because you finally stopped pretending. And maybe that's why so many people struggle with other people's opinions. They're trying to earn approval from people they were never meant to impress. To be liked by all is to be loved by none. Because the moment you try to be liked by everyone, you stop being known by anyone. Most people never become themselves because they're too busy performing for people who were never paying that much attention in the first place. Because no matter what you do, someone will disagree with it. Some people admire confidence, others call it arrogance. Some people admire ambition, others call it selfishness. Some people want honesty, others are offended by it. Trying to be liked by everyone is a game you lose before it even begins. Which brings us to the most important part of all, and the part most people never talk about. If you find yourself constantly worrying about what people think, it might not be because you're insecure. It might be because you don't have something more important to care about. Most people think confidence is the cure. It's not. Purpose is. Because when something truly matters to you, approval stops being your highest priority. Think about anyone who's ever done something meaningful with their life. Every one of them disappointed somebody. Every one of them was criticized by somebody. Every one of them was misunderstood by somebody. The difference wasn't confidence. The difference was that their mission became more important than approval. They weren't fearless. They were occupied. Occupied with building something, creating something, learning something, becoming something, pursuing something that mattered more than being liked. Have you ever been so focused on something that you forgot to check your phone? Forgot who liked your post? Forgot what people thought? That's what purpose does. It doesn't remove your insecurities. It simply gives them less room to breathe. And maybe that's what freedom actually is. Not becoming someone who doesn't care, but becoming someone who knows exactly whose opinion deserves their attention, and having something so meaningful in their life that everyone else's opinions become background noise. Because in the end, you don't stop caring what people think. You simply find something worth caring about more. So here's a question worth thinking about. What is so important in your life that you're willing to be ridiculed for it? Because the day you find an answer, other people's opinions don't disappear. The criticism doesn't disappear. The fear doesn't disappear. They just stop deciding who you become. If something in this video felt uncomfortably familiar, let me know in the comments, because chances are someone else feels the exact same way and hasn't said it yet. And if you know someone who's been giving too much power to other people's opinions, send this to them. Don't explain it, just send it. They'll understand. And if you want more videos that help you see yourself a little more clearly, subscribe. I'm August. See you in the next one. Until then, other people's opinions don't disappear. They just don't get to decide who you become.